He stood alone near the back of the food court, wearing clothes that didn't match faded jeans, an oversized hoodie, and beat-up shoes that looked like they'd survived 100 storms. A baseball cap sat low over his face, hiding his eyes. He looked out of place, not just because of how he dressed, but because of how quiet he was in a place full of noise. No phone in hand, no coffee, just a simple notepad and a pen. Some people walked past without a second glance. Others slowed down, stared a little longer, then whispered to their friends. A few laughed. One teenager, sitting nearby with her fries, pointed him out to her brother. "Look at that guy," she said, grinning. "He looks like he hasn't showered in days." The brother snorted. "Probably just another guy who thinks he's writing the next great novel or something." He heard them, he heard all of it, but he didn't respond. He just kept writing. Across the food court, 17-year-old Leo was wiping down tables at the fast food counter where he worked weekends. He was used to all kinds of customers, some nice, some rude, most just in a hurry. But today, something about the man in the hoodie caught his attention. It wasn't just the clothes, it was the way the man sat still while the whole world moved around him. Leo grabbed a tray someone had left behind and slowly made his way toward the back tables. The man was still writing. "Excuse me," Leo said, soft enough not to startle him. "Just cleaning up here, you good?" The man looked up for the first time. His eyes were kind, tired maybe, but focused. "Yeah," he said, voice low but steady. "Thanks." Leo nodded but didn't walk away right away. "If you need anything, I'm right over there." The man gave a faint smile. "You're the first person who said something kind today." Leo blinked, surprised. "Really? I mean, people can be rough, but they judge fast," the man replied. "Happens all the time." Leo hesitated. "You don't look homeless or anything, just different." "That's all it takes," the man said. Leo laughed softly, then looked down at his work apron. "Well, I get judged too. People see the uniform and think I'm not going anywhere." The man looked at him for a long second. "You might be surprised how far you'll go." Leo smiled, not sure why he felt like that meant more than it sounded. "You here to meet someone or just hanging out?" "Watching people," the man answered, "seeing how they treat what they don't understand." Leo glanced over his shoulder. A couple of kids were still looking their way. One girl pulled out her phone and snapped a photo. He sighed. "They think you're weird, huh?" "I'm used to it," the man said. "But that doesn't make it right." Before Leo could respond, his manager called him from the counter. He gave the man a nod and jogged back to his station. About 20 minutes passed. The man stayed in the same spot. More people came in. Some stared. One security guard even stopped nearby and watched him for a bit, unsure if he should intervene. But the man just kept writing. Then it happened. A loud voice broke the calm. "Hey sir," the guard said, stepping forward. "We've had a few complaints." The man didn't look surprised. "I'm just sitting here." "Some people think you might be unstable," the guard said, hesitating. Leo watched from behind the counter, eyes narrowing. He stepped forward but paused. The food court got quieter. The man reached into his backpack slowly. Some people tensed. Even the guard stepped back a little, but all he pulled out was a wallet. He flipped it open and handed over a small card. The guard stared at it. Then his eyes widened. A second passed, then another. The guard stepped back, looking shocked. "Wait, are you—" The man nodded. "Yeah." A murmur spread. People started whispering. One girl dropped her drink. Leo's manager gasped from behind the counter. "No way," someone said. "Is that really Elon Musk?" The hoodie, the cap, the scruffy look it had all been on purpose. A disguise, not for show, but for understanding. Elon stood slowly, taking the card back. Sometimes you learn more when no one knows who you are. He turned toward Leo and walked back over. People were still too stunned to move. Cameras started coming out, but Elon didn't seem to notice. "Thanks for talking to me," he said. "Before you knew who I was." Leo shook his head. I just thought you looked like you needed someone to be decent. Elon smiled. That's rare, but important. One of the teens who had laughed earlier stepped forward, face red. I didn't know it was you. I'm really sorry. Elon looked at him kindly. You don't have to be sorry because I'm Elon Musk. You should be sorry because you judged someone without knowing anything about them. The boy nodded, clearly ashamed. By now, people had crowded around, some trying to talk to him, others just watching. Elon held up a hand politely. I'm not here for a scene. I just wanted to see how people treat those they think are less. He looked at Leo one more time. You reminded me of something important. Leo looked confused. What's that? That being kind when no one's watching matters most. With that, Elon walked out of the food court. No security, no fanfare, just a man in regular clothes disappearing into the street. The crowd slowly broke apart. Some people walked away whispering, others looking awkward. The teens who had laughed sat quietly, staring at their phones. The girl who took the picture deleted it. Back behind the counter, Leo stood with a different kind of energy. Not because he had just spoken to a billionaire, but because he realized something deeper. You never know who's sitting in front of you. You never know who someone really is based on their clothes, their shoes, or their silence. Sometimes the richest people look like they have nothing, and sometimes the kindest people are the ones no one notices. From that day on, Leo carried something with him. A lesson not just about success or money, but about dignity, about giving people the benefit of the doubt, about not needing a reason to be kind. And maybe, in some way, that quiet encounter in the food court changed more than one life. Maybe kindness had ripple effects no one could fully see. But Leo felt it every day after that. When someone walked in looking tired or out of place, he made sure they felt seen, even if just for a moment. Because you never know who's watching, and more importantly, you never know who needs to be seen.